Happy Facebook Live time and welcome to Melissa's Crafting Treehouse and to my latest episode of Treehouse TV. Today I've got a bunch of announcements and some projects to share featuring the July Simple Sweet Stampers tutorial bundle. You're going to be seeing sneak peeks of 2 of the 12 projects that are in that tutorial bundle. And if you're not familiar with it, I am part of a design team. We do a tutorial bundle each month and it includes 12 tutorials, so we each design one thing, and it's a great little compilation of a particular suite or section of a catalog. So it's super fun. It's relatively simple tutorials, so you get dimensions, supplies, all that good stuff. And just as an aside, my team members get this from me every month for free, so it is a nice perk for them of being part of my team. And you can also purchase it. So there's a place on my website to purchase the Simple Sweet Stampers tutorial bundles that go back to 2019 actually. Oh, and I see lots of people joining in. Hi Penny, hi PJ, hi MJ, hi Christy. Yay, so glad to see people here and joining in. So just getting started. And again, I'm featuring the Simple Sweet Stampers tutorial bundle, which featured the, what's it called? Oh gosh, I've been saying it all day long and now it's like slipping my mind. Oh, there it is. You're a peach suite. So anyway, that's what we're going to focus on today. Hi, Elizabeth. It's rainy in Georgia, huh? Okay. Rained a little bit here today, but it's been super, super hot. My treehouse crafting space has barely been able to keep up with the air conditioning because it's so hot outside, and I am on the 3rd floor of my house, so it gets pretty warm up here and the sun's beating down anyway. But it's been okay. So anyway, let's launch right in with announcements for today. So a couple of quick things. Did you know that when you are watching through YouTube, because I know some of you may be watching in YouTube or watching in the replay, you can actually watch a video on fast speed, and you can speed it up to 1 1/4 times, 1 1/2 times, 2 times as fast, so you'll be like talking really, really fast. But it's a great way to watch videos and get through them more quickly, or if somebody talks slowly and you just don't want to hear them talk slowly. Anyway, just a little tidbit. You just go to the little settings icon in the lower right hand corner and you can speed it up, so it's pretty cool. So this is a great opportunity for me to invite you to share this video, tag friends, click on the video to make sure it's big in your screen so I can tell how many people are actually watching. And if you're on YouTube, make sure to subscribe to my video if you like what I share. When you share with your friends, that really helps me in my business, helps me stay in business. So I really appreciate it when you do that. All right, so today I have a prize giveaway. I am going to give away one of the You're a Peach tutorial bundles, and to win it, there's going to be one way that you can win it. I'm also going to give one and give them away for a particular reason. I'm going to tell you that in just a minute. So if you want to win, I'm going to invite you and ask you to listen really carefully through the announcements, because I'm going to give you a hashtag at the end, and you'll need to comment with the question that I'm asking you to answer. So thank you so much for sharing, Sharon. Appreciate it. I see that you just did that. Okay, so yes, so stay tuned. So here are the announcements officially. So keep your ears open if you want a chance to win the tutorial bundle. So the biggest announcement today is Maker's Mojo Creative Escape event. RSVP deadline is today. Today's the last day to sign up, and it is going to be an amazing event. There are 4 of us presenting. We've got 9 presentations. So it's going to be basically spanning 9 hours. We'll have some breaks in between, of course, but lots of great projects. I've seen a good number of the ones that my team members are sharing. And so let me just give you some of the highlights. So here's where I want you to be paying attention, because this is what I'm going to ask you later to tell me some things that you heard. Okay, so anybody, first of all, who registers for the Maker's Mojo Creative Escape today, so I know I'm rewarding those of you who do things last minute, I will give you the Sweet as a Peach tutorial bundle for free. So today, this is the last day, so sign up and you will automatically get that for free. You can also pick a different tutorial bundle if you prefer. So that'll be a nice perk for those of you who sign up today. So some of the highlights of the event, we're going to have one 3D item, really cool 3D item, 2 fun fold cards, lots of card samples. So for each presentation, we're doing a main project, and then we'll show some alternatives, 1 or more alternatives for each project. There's going to be some Christmas in July projects. Quite a few of us, the 3 out of the 4 of us, are doing a Christmas variation on our projects. So for those of you who love to get a jump on the holidays, this will be a nice opportunity for you to see some ideas. We'll be doing featuring lots of new products from the new annual catalog, new products in there, and sneak peeks from the mini catalog, which goes live August 3rd, and sneak peeks of celebration products too, which also goes live August 3rd. So lots of fun. And then you're going to see multiple fun techniques. You guys know I'm kind of a technique junkie, so I did ask my teammates to try to incorporate some fun techniques into their presentations. So again, this is all about Maker's Mojo Creative Escape event. The details are on my website under the Events and Classes tab at the very top. It's the first choice, and it's going to be amazing. The cost of it is only $40, but you're going to get a ton of content. And after the live event, after the event is over, we're going to be about a week later, we'll send links to all the PDFs. There'll be a PDF for every single presentation, and you'll get video links to all the presentations too. So if you can't participate live, there'll be a great way for you to participate after the fact. So the event is in a private Facebook group, but you don't have to participate through Facebook. So it's totally up to you, very flexible. So next up, so those are the details about Maker's Mojo. Please feel free to ask questions about that event. I'm really excited about it. The first one we did was in January, and it was a blast. I finished up with it just like so jazzed. It was just so fun to hear people's comments and see people participating and sharing their creative projects after the live was over. So it's a ton of fun. All right. Next up on the announcements, my product shares, my Tasty Sweet product shares are officially live. Last Thursday, I did a video featuring all the products in that, in all of the product shares. Plus, I showed all of the products I've gotten from the mini catalog that are stamp sets and dies and all that as well. So if you missed last week's video, it's definitely something to check out. It's on the product shares page. And one of the things I added today was for each product share, I provided a link to the exact spot in the video where I start showing the products for that particular suite. So if there's particular ones you want to look at, you can now go to my product shares page, click on the specific link or links, and see just those products. So I thought that would be a really nice little feature to offer people, so you don't have to watch the whole video if you don't want to. All right, and I'm also doing an early bird bonus for the product shares. And there's actually, for people who purchase 5 or more shares, you'll get to pick a celebration item. For anybody who purchases all of them, you'll get to pick a level 2 item or 2 level 1 items. And if you purchase 1, 2, 3, or 4 product shares, I'm gonna draw a winner for a celebration item among those people. So there's opportunities for everybody to get and take advantage of the early bird bonus. You do have to RSVP for your product shares by Saturday, July 24th, and you have to pay for them by Tuesday, July 28th. So those are the dates to keep in mind: Saturday, July 24th, Tuesday, July 28th, if you're want to take advantage of the early bird bonus opportunity for product shares. All right, what else? So the July to December mini catalog goes live August 3rd. Now, I just said that out loud and it sounds really strange. I addressed it last week in last week's video. Stampin' Up! Is 1 month behind because they knew there were going to be some supply issues. So that catalog was supposed to go live beginning of July, but it's going live the beginning of August instead because of those supply related issues. It's still called the July to December mini catalog. So just word to the wise, don't be confused by that little detail. And the same is true for Celebration, goes live August 3rd. All right. What else? This is also a great time to join Stampin' Up! To buy the starter kit because you can in your pre-order, you can pre-order items from the mini catalog, and you'll pre-earn celebration items for any actual orders. It does not include the starter kit. You don't get celebration items in and with your starter kit. But for any orders placed in July, you'll get to pre-earn celebration items. So that's pretty awesome. The Designer Series paper sale is still going on. That goes on until I think August 2nd, 15% off 9 different papers. In fact, one of them is the paper I'm showing today. So just keep that in mind. It's a great time to get Designer Series paper. Okay, almost done. Whew. So much to say. I have been reminding you all that I have some changes coming to one of my programs that I've been doing for a long time. I've decided to discontinue my free card kit program. So that's going to end as of the end of July. If you enjoy getting those card kits in the mail with an order, place an order now because it's your last chance. Now, there is one other way to get free card kits from me, and that is through my online stamp club. So moving forward, starting August 1, only online stamp club members and in-person stamp club members will get kits from me. You do get double kits when you're part of a club, so instead of getting 1 of each project, you get 2 of each project, and the projects this month are super fun. I just created the kits for them, and 2 of them are fun folds, and they use some new products as well. So that's going to be really fun. And those projects will come to anyway. You'll see more later. All right, let's see what else. Okay, so how to win your Peach tutorial bundle. Do you guys want to know? Were you listening to all of my announcements? I know I cover lots of details. So the hashtag is going to be hashtag SSS July 2021. So super easy hashtag. And what you have to do is use that hashtag, comment using the hashtag, and include 2 things about the Makers Mojo event that sound like a ton of fun. I hope there's going to be lots of people who comment on that one because there's going to be so much fun. So yes, the hashtag SSS July 2021, and just comment and let me know 2 things that you think will be fun or 2 things you learned about the event in this video as we speak. So the winners, we will draw winners next week before, well actually I'm not doing a next week's Facebook Live because I'm taking the week off. I'm doing every other week now, just a reminder, most weeks. So yes, but I will draw a winner and announce it on my Facebook page. So you guys will find out next week, even if I'm not on Facebook in a live. So I hope you guys will share your thoughts. Oh, good. Pam, I'm so excited you're sharing that. And also remember, again, if you sign up and register for the Makers Mojo event today, you will get either your Peach tutorial bundle, the Simple Sweet Stampers tutorial bundle, it's a mouthful, or you can pick a different tutorial bundle if you sign up today. All right, well, let's get started with this project demonstration. I have 2 projects. One was the one designed by me, and the other one was designed by, I have to look, Vicki Parsons. And I have shared projects that she's done before, so that name might sound familiar. So I'm going to turn my camera down, and we are going to get started. Alrighty. Okay, so what you see down here in front of you right at the moment are some of the things I'm going to be using for my first project. And this one, we're going to do Vicki's project first. We're going to be using some of these lovely ombre gift bags. They come in a pack of 20. And of course, you may be able to tell they're the new in colors. So the polished pink, fresh freesia, pale papaya, soft succulent, and evening evergreen. I love these. Oh, you lost me. I'm so sorry, MJ. I hope you can hear me now. So anyway, you get 4 of each color, of course, to get you the 20. We're going to be using one of these for the project. And we're going to be using this lovely Sweet as a Peach Designer Series paper. And this is just the one side of the patterns. And our second side is right there. Am I missing a pattern? I think I am. There we go. So all 6 patterns. It's really pretty paper, a gorgeous color palette. I love it. One of my favorite patterns is this one. The 2 that I'm going to be using today are these 2. And the images are just so pretty. Love it. Love this paper. And again, I'm pretty 100% sure, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, that those papers are part of the Designer Series paper sale. Okay, we're also going to be using the Sweet as a Peach stamp set and the dies that go with it. Now I have started putting the dies right into my stamp set. Some of them are missing from here because I'm using them in today's project, but I'm just including them right in there, in with my set, just so that they're conveniently located. We're also going to be using the bark embossing folder for this project. All right, so to get started, I'm actually going to dry emboss one of these bags using that bark embossing folder, and I have actually done it ahead of time, so I'm going to show you what it looks like. Isn't that pretty? So there's the difference, and it actually looks, let's see, did I grab the darker one? I did. I grabbed the darker one. I lied, right? So this is Evening Evergreen, this is the soft succulent, and the one I dry embossed is the soft succulent. So you will maybe notice, if you look at the embossing folder, when I put it in here, it doesn't actually cover the whole thing. Okay, so it leaves the lip at the top uncovered. But I think it looks kind of cool. It almost looks like it was intentional, because you can see it has like a line across there, like a section that's not dry embossed. So it looks really good, I think. All right. So we've got that taken care of. Now I have die cut some pieces it's out of the Designer Series paper, and I'm using these new tailor-made tags. So they got the two different shapes in multiple sizes, and then these little elements that go on the top of the tag. We're going to be using that for the project. And so you can see the two tags that I've die cut. And now this little piece I've already attached, and I'm going to go ahead and attach this one. And to do this, I am just going to, instead of putting the glue onto my little white piece, which is so tiny, I'm going to put just the tiniest little bit around the opening of this hole. And I am really trying to be quite conservative with how much I use, because I don't want it to ooze out. So you can probably see it on there. And then I'm going to put that straight side against the top. I've actually seen it done both ways, but it looks more correct to me to put it against the top like that. So now I've got my two lovely little reinforced tags. Now I need one other piece that's die cut, and I've used this size die of my rectangle stitched framelits. Now, or dies, I should say. Now, Vicki used something different. What was it? It was a set of dies that I don't have, and let me see if I can find what it was called. It's the one that like everybody seems to have these days. Scalloped contour dies. They've been super popular. I'll show you a picture of her project in just a minute, but it has a scalloped edge, and it's just one thing I have not yet purchased. But I'm sure if you are watching out there in the world, they're all over the place. People just seem to love them. So I've got my vellum piece die cut with the stitched rectangle die. And so this is going to go right here on the front. And then I'm going to arrange my pieces. Now I have, I'm going to attach these two, so they're just like that. So let's grab a little bit of white glue here. And I'm going to put them a bit askew, so they're going to be kind of like that. So I want to just put some glue on this side. Look how pretty that paper is on the back. The big peaches. I'm just going to do a little bit on the side, because I don't want to make sure I don't do too much and have it kind of ooze off the side of the page. Just like that. Got a tiny little bit sticking out, mostly just the way I want it. And then I'm going to tie a bow around the two pieces. Now this is not totally stuck yet, so I'm going to leave that be for a minute. Now next I'm going to do some stamping, and some die cutting. So let's go ahead and put that aside. Now what I'm going to start with is my peaches. So I've got the 3 peaches, I can count. And we're going to do the rock and roll technique, if you are familiar with that. There's actually 2 ways to get this effect, but I'm going to do it by the rock and roll technique. Hi, Sally. Good morning to you. I love that. Okay, so I'm going to ink it up with my pale papaya. This is one of the in colors. And then the rock and roll technique is just essentially taking the stamp and rocking the edge in sort of a circular motion so you get the outside edges of the peach having a little bit of a darker color. Now sometimes it ends up being like a little bit too much of a hard line. So what I like to do is take my spritzer bottle and maybe like 15 inches away, like really far away, and I'm going to do this off camera, I spray it ever so lightly. I'm going to do it off camera so you'll hear the sound, but it is quite a bit far away. It's like I said, 15 inches or so. I really just want the slightest little mist on there so that it helps blend the colors just a bit, because I don't want it to be like super wet. And then I'm just going to go ahead and stamp it. Now the other alternative, okay, so you can see how I got that there, just a little bit of that Calypso coral on the edge. The other way to do it would be to ink it up with the lighter color. Always want to start with the lighter color, the pale papaya. And then I could have taken my sponge dauber, and I think this is what Vicki included in her instructions, and just inked it up with my Calypso and then touched up around the edges. You have a little bit more control that way, but for whatever reason, I like that rock and roll. Maybe just because I'm a rock and roll girl. I don't know. Okay, so now I'm going to take the die that cuts out these little peaches and find where it lines up. That's definitely not it. And that's correct. And then I'm going to pull in my little mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine and get these die cut. So for this machine, it's really pretty simple. There's no base plate. This is actually the base plate. It's number 1. And then I've got 2 of the number 2 plates. The numbers are different for a full-size Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So it's just 1 and 2 for the die cutting for this. Just going to line that up. Now, this has the tendency to move. So what I like to do is either take a piece of washi tape and I'm going to actually take a small Post-it note and just place it so that it straddles the die and the paper and essentially holds it in place while I do my die cutting. The first time I did this, I didn't use the Post-it note or anything, and sure enough, it moved. And it doesn't have to be exact, but this one, when I did it that first time, it was way off. So the Post-it note goes a long way to ensure that you're going to get a pretty decent job of it. And it just comes off. All right, so now I've got my 3 little peaches. And next I stamped my foliage image in the soft succulent color. Did the same thing with my Post-it note, and I have already done that, so I'm just going to show you how that came out, just like that. So that's that die. When I was first doing this, I thought I could stamp both images, one on top of the other, and die cut them at the same time. But clearly I was mistaken, because it doesn't work that way. So I might not be the only one out there who took a minute to figure that out, but you have to do the pieces separate. All right. So now, I actually have, so I have this piece that I'm going to tie a bow around in this opening, and I have one done. So I'm just going to use my finished one just to make things easy, since we have 2 projects I'm sharing today. And I'm just going to go ahead and take this piece, which has dimensionals on the back side. I've already removed the backing, so it's on one of my little plasticized pieces. And I'm going to place it onto my vellum. I am going to eventually have my vellum sort of at a little bit kitty corner, like at an angle, sort of. And so this is going to kind of go a little bit justified towards the top because I have a sentiment piece that's going to go down here in the corner. So that's about where I want it. I'm not pressing it down just in case I decide to move it a little bit. I've stamped one of the sentiments from the set in Calypso Coral, Have a Peachy Day, and I'm going to use my double oval punch to punch it out. And I actually have another one that has dimensionals already on the back, so I'm going to grab that one. And the backings are already taken off, so I'm going to place this right about, I want it to hang off a little bit off the page. Where do I want it? My spacing's ever so slightly different because I'm using a different die. That's probably good. Now by attaching all of this now, what I can do is put adhesive on the back side and it will be hidden. And I'm just going to go ahead and use some white glue and I'm just going to put it in behind what's already there. And that way I don't have to worry about seeing any adhesive through the vellum. And I'm ending up with it a little bit like, how do I want that? I think I need to do my little peachy sentiment a little bit askew if it'll come off. The other pieces are askew, so that means this one has to be, I want it to be kind of straight on. Okay, that's going to do. Okay, so I guess, okay, I'm going to say that to last. All right, so next I'm going to attach my other elements, and by the magic of TV, I have some that are already done and have dimensionals on the back side. So I've got that one. Backing's already removed. And I'm going to find where I want it on my little tag. Kind of a bit at an angle, I think. And that's probably okay right there. Now here's the tricky thing. I'm not sure where each of these peaches are intended to go, so we're just going to kind of wing it. Maybe the bigger one goes over here. Okay, and that one we'll put right there. And then we got one more. Again, these have dimensionals with the backings removed already. And then that one there. Okay, we're in the home stretch on this one. Isn't that cute? I love how the bark gives the texture to this little pocket. So now I'm going to actually tie some ribbon around the top, and because this is kind of flimsy, it's going to make it a little bit hard to do that. So I decided I would grab a piece of chipboard and just tuck it in. I just went and looked for some scrap chipboard, which I have a ton of. This one happened to be exactly the right width. A little wonky can make a card. I like that comment, Jolene. Thanks for sharing that. Okay, so now I'm gonna grab some ribbon, and I think I'm gonna go with the same color. This is the soft succulent, so the same color as the bag. Pretty sure that this one's gonna be a little bit too dark. Yep. And then I thought about doing the pale papaya, but nah. I think the soft succulent is the way I'm going to go. So I'm just going to tie this around, and I think I'm just going to do a tie. I think Vicki did a bow, but I kind of like the simplicity of a tie. And we already have one bow on there, right? So I'm actually straddling the spot where that line was that was created by the bark embossing folder at the top. And you could actually have it show if you wanted to, if you like the way it looks. But it's just kind of the perfect spot to put the ribbon. So I'm not tying it too tight, but this really helped in being able to tie it and get it done without getting the right tightness, I guess. So now I can just pull that out. It would have been really hard to do it if I didn't have that in there, I think. So I'm just going to snip off my ends. And I am good to go. So now this is all ready to put a nice little treat inside, and that's my project. So I'm just going to quickly show you Vicky's version. Slightly different, not a whole lot, but let's see. So she did the bow at the top, and of course this is the contour punch die that she used, and I just used the rectangle stitch dies. So, you know, multiple ways to skin a cat, right? Like they say. So, there you go. Now, I'm going to set this aside and we'll move on to the project that I created for the tutorial bundle. Grab these little pieces and put them away. All right. I'll bring that back in at the end. Now, I need to use this block, so I'm just going to wash this quickly and transfer it out, because on this design, the next design, I'm going to be using the flowers that also coordinate with that same stem. All right. Find my pieces that I'm working with here. Okay, so now this one, I'm really excited about this project because it uses scraps, and I think I've shared my scrap bins with you guys. When I do my cutting, and I do a lot of cutting, especially for kits and whatnot, I end up with lots of scraps that are 1/4 inch wide. These are 1/4 inch wide. I end up with lots of scraps that are multiple different widths, but the point is that I have a lot of them, and I saw this idea on something on the Stampin' Up! Website, and I thought, well, I just have to play with that. So my card is completely different, but the main concept that I took was using cardstock strips. So I'm going to start by just taking some temporary adhesive and putting a little bit on my paper here, and then I'm going to line up my cardstock pieces so they're butt up against one another. And I might need to add a little bit more temporary adhesive. So I have 6 pieces all together. To add some more temporary adhesive at the bottom. And then I'm going to start stamping. Kind of creating my own sort of designer series paper, if you will, with this. And I'm going to start with Pear Pizzazz. This is one of the colors that's in the designer series paper. One of the things I love to do is use the designer series paper as a jumping off point for figuring out my design. So the designer papers do a lot of the work in figuring out color combinations and whatnot. So I'm going to start with that first image, and then I'm going to use my flowers with my Mango Melody to stamp this first set of flowers. So it kind of lines up where the top 2 are here and the biggest flower is down towards the bottom. If you have this set and you're wondering, that's what I found worked the best. So there I got my first one. Didn't get a lot of ink on that one, but oh well, flowers are different. Each one's a little different. Now I am going to use this image on some different colors, so I just washed that off to the side. Now I'm sort of building my scene, so what I'm going to do next is some of my big peaches, starting with some of the pale papaya. And I'm going to do my same little rock and roll technique, but for this one I'm just going to get sort of one side of the peach and towards the bottom. And I think I'll just sort of hold it up at the camera so you guys can kind of see. And you can see I have a little bit of that Calypso coral. I'm going to get a little bit more in there. And then I am going to do my little spritzy trick off camera from a distance so that the colors kind of blend and mix a little bit. And hopefully I didn't add too much water, but we'll just have to see, right? So this first one's going to go up here in the upper right-hand corner. Ooh, that was, oh, interesting. Look, I ended up getting a little line. Well, you know, it's nature. It's all good, right? And then I'm going to take my stem with my pear pizzazz, and that's just going to go coming right out of the top of my little peach. All right, so another peach. I'm going to go ahead and wash this off so I don't get my Calypso coral on my pale papaya. And I'm going to do my little rock and roll again. Each one's going to turn out a little bit different. Again, I'm spraying it off camera. And I'm going to do this one in the upper left-hand corner. I do like to make sure that my peaches are pointed in a different direction, a different angle, just for variation. It keeps it interesting. And grab that stem again. Yeah, having trouble pressing down enough. There we go, that's better. I am going to now take this stem and do a little bit at the top, just to get some green happening up there so that it's not a blank spot. And we'll do a stamped off one there as well. Okay, so I'm going to keep building this. The next one, I'm going to do the flowers a little bit differently. Actually, I want to do my peach. Wash it off again. Stamp it up. Do my little rock and roll. Spray off camera. Did I get any water on there? I think I was way off target here. Let's try that again. Okay. And then this one's going to go down here at the bottom. And I'm going to kind of point it straight up and down since the other two were more angled. Okay, so getting so caught up in this project that I'm forgetting to look at comments. Just wondering how you guys are doing out there. Tell me if you guys have this set and if you've managed to play with it. Now I'm going to just do one more flower over here. And again, kind of angling that foliage in a slightly different direction. And this one, I'm going to use Calypso coral for my flowers. Make sure my stamp is clean. And I'll go ahead and line that up. Some of them are not going to show on here. That's okay. Just get a little bit of that alternative color for the flowers. Now I am going to do one more down here in this lower right hand corner, but I'm not going to actually do it on camera. I'm going to take this itty bitty little flower, center flower, whatever it is, and I'm going to add some color to the center. So I'm going to use my Mango Melody on this one, and it's going to be a very subtle little center because it's the same color on it. And then I'm going to do the same thing with my Calypso coral. And I only got one of the flowers in there, so that's pretty much where we are there. So I'm going to do another set of flowers down at the lower left-hand corner. And I have one that's completely finished, so I'm going to pull that one out. And we'll get started with the assembly part. So now, what I'm going to do on this is start attaching my pieces. I'm glad you think it's pretty, Elizabeth. I'm so glad. Let's see. I don't usually go for the fruity stuff, you know, the fruit-themed things, but I really like this one for whatever reason. Anyway, yeah, I really like it. So what I like to do with this is I like to lay out where I want them to be before I do anything. And I know I haven't showed you this project, but the basic idea is I'm going to separate them all so you have a little bit of space between each of the pieces. I want it to be evenly spaced, which is why I'm laying them out to start with. And it looks sort of continuous, of course, because I've stamped all the pieces together. So now you can see I have a lot of space at the top, which means that I need to adjust my spacing of the other pieces to give myself a little bit more space between those so it's more even. So I'm going to start at the top like that. It's a little hard not to be able to be right over the top of it. And then I'm going to do my bottom one. And keep building this. So you can kind of see where that's going. Now there's a couple other little elements on here. I have one that's finished. I'm going to set that aside for right now. And I'm going to stamp my sentiment pieces. Now I've got my finished project actually uses a happy birthday sentiment, but for this one I'm going to do a thanks so much. So I've got my thanks so much in Pear Pizzazz, and my other piece is going to say sweet friend. Now the sentiment here says to a sweet friend, right? So what I'm going to do is just only stamp, only get ink on by carefully watching myself as I stamp, as I ink it up, so that I'm only inking up the sweet friend portion. And I just want to make sure that I actually get my S completely. So you can see I'm just bringing it nice and close to me and doing it so that I only have that part. And then I'm stamping it on my really thin little piece there. So that's just a quick little easy trick. No, not too complicated. And for each of these pieces, I'm going to make a banner at the end. So I'll use my paper snips, which are the perfect thing for this. Cut up the center and then cut in to that center point, and that helps to make sure that it's centered. The easiest way I've found to do a banner freehand with a scissors. So there's that little banner piece. Now I've already stamped and done my little banner for the thanks so much in my Pear Pizzazz. So there are those two pieces. Now let's see where else, what else I'm doing here. Should I finish this? I probably should just finish this. Show you guys how it all comes together. Getting the spacing, like I said, is the part I kind of like to be a little meticulous about. So let's see how we're doing here with my spacing. Yeah, you can tell I'm concentrating. That's pretty good. So yeah, this is a little bit labor intensive, just the time, but I really love the end result. I hope you guys will too when I show you it. Okay, I think I just got 2 more pieces. Okay, are you guys commenting on Maker's Mojo? Now maybe you're watching me do this instead, but use that hashtag, the hashtag SSS July 2021, if you want a chance at winning the Your Peach tutorial bundle. Now just a word on the tutorial bundles. I use them as a great jumping off point for my own projects. So you don't have to recreate it exactly as designed, because most likely you don't have exactly what the creator had, just like I do pretty much every week when I share these tutorial bundle sneak peeks. I almost never have exactly what the other person showed. So it's just a nice opportunity to make the design your own. So if you don't have the You're a Peach, Sweet as a Peach stamp set, you can create the same exact look with any stamp set where you can sort of create your own background. So I challenge you to do that because it's really a lot of fun. All right, so next I'm going to go ahead and attach these 2 pieces, and I'm going to use a glue dot. I will do it like that. I want my sweet friend to be just a little bit behind and slightly bit shorter than the thank you so much. All right, so there we go with my background piece, and then I've got this piece. That's going to have some dimensionals on the back side. Let's see what I got here for my dimensionals. I think I need little itty bitty ones. We'll just put a few on the back, and I'm just going to put them towards the end of the tag piece, because this part on at the end, this end is going to be flat onto the card. Now, I don't know if you guys do this, but I like to use my paper piercing tool or take your pick tool to pick up my little dimensionals, especially when they're small. It just makes it so much easier to maneuver those. All right, so this whole piece is going to go right on the front of the card. Before I do that, I'm going to tie a little bit of ribbon around the left side. And again, I'm just going to do a tie, not a bow. I love my bows, and there's a place for bows, but the tie is also lovely as well. Okay, so am I on camera? Yes. Make sure you guys can see and I'm not drifting off to the side. All right, so I'm going to make it nice and tight. You can see my piece is a little bit bowed, and that just allows the ribbon to release without getting too loose. I'm keeping my finger right there on that knot as long as I can, and then tying it up. And then I'll bow this just to move it a little bit up. Snip off my ends. All right. Now, a few more little details. I'm going to grab one of my foam adhesive sheets to make this super easy to put it together. I don't like to use this scissors for anything but ribbon. It's kind of my official ribbon cutting scissors. So I'm going to just grab this other one, and I'm just going to put that right in the middle. This is the easiest way to pop something up. Okay, I'm going to quickly close some of these inks so we don't end up getting something in them by accident. Okay, so that's going to get attached there. Now, you guys know that when you take off the backing of these and you put it down and they touch something, it's like it adheres instantly. And I've had more than one occasion where I pull it off and it's not where I want it, and it makes me a little crazy. So I'm going to pull back just that side. I'm not going to pull back the whole thing. I'm going to kind of get my position first on the left, on the bottom, at the top. And yes, it's sticking up a little bit because that backing is pooching out, but now I've got it just where I want it, and I can slip out that backing and double check that it's in the right spot. And there we go. It's white on the edge against white, so pretty forgiving there, but still want it to be where I want it to be. All right, so now I got this little piece here. It's going to tuck under there, but I got a little bit of extra, so I'm going to snip that bit off so that it's not showing. Put a glue dot or two at the end. And then just tuck it under. Oop, got to take those dimensional backings off. Where is my, yeah. So this is where your paper piercing tool comes in handy too, right? Because now I've got it attached with the glue dot, so I have to take these backings off upside down. Almost there. I can't wait to see what you guys commented on about Maker's Mojo. And I sure hope some more of you will sign up and join us. We've got the welcome event on Friday night, just for about an hour, where you get to meet the team. And then the event is from 1 p.m. to 10 p.m. on Saturday. That's Eastern time. We do have one Australian demonstrator with us, and the timing is not ideal for her because half of the event is in the middle of the night and her people, which I feel a little badly about, but it's kind of unavoidable. I'm so glad that she wanted to join us. Alyssa Tilsner, if you're familiar with that name. And she does beautiful work. I know you guys are going to enjoy it if you participate. So there is my finished project. This is the original one. Happy birthday. Let's celebrate you. And then thanks so much, sweet friend. I just think it's so happy and cheerful. It's one of the things I love about this set. The suite is the color palette. Just so beautiful. Hope you guys like it. All right, so what do you guys think? Oh, really lovely. Thank you, Pam. You are always so sweet. I'm glad you like it, Linda. Yay, I'm so glad you like it, Suzanne. Piercing tool and dimensionals, meant to be together. Yes. So true. We love our tools, don't we? Us crafty ladies. All right. Oh, I'm so glad you love it, Christy. Wonderful. All right, I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera around, say a quick goodbye, reminders, and let you guys get on your way for the evening. Okay. Oh, you're gonna make it tomorrow. Yay, I love that. Makes me so happy to know that whatever I'm sharing you guys are playing with. I definitely encourage you to go grab all your scraps, or the next time you're cutting, if you end up with multiple scraps, don't throw them away. Make something fun with them. Piece them together and make I think of it as like I don't know, like a level or blind, you know, with the gaps in between. That's what it makes me think of anyway. Oh, and I'm glad you like the embossed bag too. Yes. Super cute and sweet and simple. I've been wanting to use these little bags for the longest time, ever since I got them. So when I saw this idea that Vicki shared, I was like, yes, that's the one I'm making. And then the funny thing was, today I had them sitting around for weeks waiting for me to play with it and use it, and I couldn't find it for the life of me. I think I spent like 15 minutes looking for it, put it away for safekeeping, silly me. Finally found them, thank goodness. All right, so just some quick reminders. So again, if you sign up for Maker's Mojo today, which is the last day to sign up, I will give you your choice of any Simple Sweet Stampers tutorial bundle from my website that you want. So consider doing that. And the event itself is enough motivation. I hope you guys will want to join in. Lots of fun in store. And don't forget about the product shares, something to check out. And I got those links to each of the suites in the video now on my website. And again, that's under the product shares tab. It's the second option. So check that out if you haven't already. And let's see what else. Anything else? I think that's pretty much it. So next time the next time I'm going to do a Facebook Live with a project is the 29th. I wrote this down on my piece of paper, which is now buried under something. Oh, here we go. It's right over here. Yes, the 29th. So it's 2 weeks from today will be my next Facebook Live. I will be sharing on my blog, so definitely check out my website and other things that I'll be sharing and posting between now and then. But yeah, the next one will be 2 weeks from today. But I will announce whoever the winner is for the hashtag SSS July 2021 winner next week. So you guys will all know who won, and you can cash in. I'm so glad you enjoyed it, Suzanne. I'm so glad it was inspiring. That makes me happy. This would be nothing if it weren't for you guys. I appreciate you being here and sharing the craft with me. Yeah, it just makes it so fun, because who would want to be alone doing it? So we'll see you in 2 weeks, and I'll look forward to reading your comments. And you guys have a wonderful couple of weeks, and I hope you're having a great summer wherever you are, whatever you're doing. And I'll see you then. Maybe I'll see you in Maker's Mojo too. Yay, wouldn't that be fun? All right, guys. See you soon. Bye. Mwah.